Welcome to SubQ's. I'm your host, Daniella Lane. Lili Nagy Marner is a stylist, bookmaker, and musician based in New York City. Having worked at publications such as ID, The Cut, and Interview magazine, Lili hopes to spread the message of trans beauty, joy, and resistance one project at a time. Lili grew up ripping pages out of fashion magazines and taping them to her walls in suburban New Jersey. Through her fondness of image, color, and expression, Lili was able to more fondly understand herself as a woman, leading to her eventual pursuits in the editorial fashion sphere. She hopes to additionally move into film and television styling, having enjoyed styling a few college thesis films for her dear friends. Lili is also an artistic liaison of Pussy to Cunt, a collective dedicated to the nourishing of trans feminine people all over the world. She just helped host the collective's first ever Daughters Day, a night filled with multidisciplinary performance from 5 trans women in New York City at the Leslie Lohman Museum. Hello and welcome to SubQ's. I'm your host, Daniella Lane, and today we have a very special guest, Lili Nagy Marner. Hi, Lili.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Of course, you're actually our first guest.
Yes,
which
so
is
I've
very
heard.
exciting. And I wouldn't want anyone else to be our first guest because you kind of are the New York City it girl.
Oh my God.
And I want to start with a bit of a fun question. So, I personally feel that you are an it girl to me.
Oh.
What are some it girl essentials?
Okay, it girl essentials. I would say she needs like a roughness or something.
Mm-hmm.
She needs to be like against the grain a bit. I feel like that is what like connects us, like latches us into our it girls, is like relating to them in some part.
Yeah.
A fab shoe, like a fab shoe rotation. I'm working on it. It's hard. It's really hard, especially as like a transsexual with large feet. But a fab shoe collection. Humor is really important. And I don't know why.
That for sure.
Thank you. And I don't know why I'm feeling like eyebrows. And they don't have to be like there, but like a distinct eyebrow. I don't know. It just means something to me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And when it comes to you, I feel like one word that I think of is confidence.
Oh, that's sweet.
Is there a specific point in your life where you can pinpoint kind of stepping into that confidence?
Yeah. Well, honestly, it was like very special meeting you in high school.
Aw. We go way back.
We go way back. I feel like high school was like my first dipping my toes into, I don't know, just like independence, in the sense of like going to school feels a lot more like your own doing. You're walking or you're driving there rather than like getting dropped off, I feel.
Yeah.
And I was really like scared of my parents finding out how I was dressing, but like in high school I would just like bring a change of clothes and put them in my locker or something. Like, so high school would become like this own little world, I think. And I was in this like literary arts magazine called Folio, and we would do coffee house performances. And that is like especially where I remember like wearing some of my first like dresses and like heels and stuff. And this is all stuff about dressing, I guess, because I think when I started really like admiring people's personal style and also like deciding that I don't just have to wear men's clothes was like when I really started to find myself.
Yeah, and I feel what's funny about Folio, it was this coffee house that we had at our high school. It kind of reminds me how important it is to have these specific like groups or communities where we can really be ourselves, especially as young people trying to kind of navigate the world, especially in high school. It's such a confusing time. And I feel like for me as well, that's also where I kind of started to express myself. And that's where I started performing my pop songs and things like that. It was such a cool chance for people to step into their artistry and creativity.
Yeah, I know, because it would just be like at night. We'd usually hang out with our friends after, so it would just be like wearing what we want, performing to like this crowd that we really trusted.
Yeah.
It was so fun. Like, and they're still up to it. Like, I get like their Instagram notifications now and then. I know.
That makes me happy.
And kids are just like so much more sure of themselves at a younger age, it seems like, recently.
Yeah.
With the internet, and it's obviously like what the government is actively targeting is like these kids are being informed and knowing who they are at earlier ages. Not that we ever really know who we are, especially in high school, but like,
for sure.
I don't know, just seeing like this crowd of kids being like, oh, they're all like messing with gender a bit. It was like, I don't know, assuring.
Yeah, and they're all kind of coming together and like making art out of it.
Totally.
Which I feel kind of, you know, being in New York for a few years now, it seems almost like something that we've lost a little bit.
Yeah.
I think everyone is really focusing on their individual paths and focusing on themselves as well, which I think is really important, you know. Especially as we get older, it's important to be selfish. And when you're queer and in these kind of marginalized communities, it's essential. But at the same time, I think we lose that feeling of community in such a big city.
Yeah. I mean, it feels like there's an automatic like paywall to live here.
Yeah.
In the first place, which has like forced out some of the most like creative and brilliant minded individuals.
I know.
And yeah, on like my own personal pursuits, I do like, even this early on in my career, I'm like, it feels very difficult not to choose career over anything else when it means like the rent is paid, the food is purchased, like it's hard. So it's like kind of that conversation of finding as much space as you can to work on creative pursuits outside of your paying work.
Yeah.
And I know there's time because I know I spend like way too much time on my phone. So I'm like, instead of trying to just like not be on my phone, I'm like, let me just schedule time where I like can't be on my phone, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I feel like doing stuff like this is kind of a way of like contributing to community.
Totally.
And
I know, I'm excited.
me too. I'm excited as well.
And I love podcasts too. Like I definitely listen to them and like watch them. And I think it's like a refreshing break from instant content that we're used to, that we're being like conditioned to. Like, I think it's very fascinating and again, like against the grain that they are like so successful.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of that is for like getting drama click bits or whatever, but
Yeah.
there is also the element of like, okay, we can like listen to something long form and understand it and appreciate it more than music at times.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah.
I also kind of want to backtrack, you know, when
Yeah.
we're talking about high school and stuff and stepping into your confidence. Did you experience pushback? And also, how has that informed the art that you make?
The main pushback I can recall is like from my parents, specifically my dad, which is honestly like still an ongoing thing. He's just very religious, and our town seemed like moderate to like maybe like softly liberal leaning, I would say.
Yeah,
The
more.
student-
Yeah, it kind of felt like more to save face in a way.
Yeah.
You know, it's like everyone felt that's like what they were supposed to do.
So I just felt like really worried that other kids, even if they wouldn't like bully me directly, like I was worried they would like report home to their dad, who would like see my dad at like the pool or whatever, like that sort of thing. Like I was definitely anxious about being like surveyed.
Yeah, I mean,
Like-
especially because everyone knew each other.
Yeah, and it's such a bubble. But that was kind of my own mini revolution a bit, was like saying, well, if he finds out, that'll be a conversation. And then he like,
Yeah.
I'm not sure if he ever did, and then just like swept it under the rug. Because the conversation around like my queerness with him didn't come up until literally last year. But like we don't have to get into that. But like
But we can if you want.
no,
But also, I know it's a
like
hard topic.
it's just like an ongoing thing. But yeah, I would say pushback in school, like in high school, was just like knowing at the end of the day I'm going to my mom's or my dad's. Or
Yeah.
I remember there was this one time I bought these like Ciro boots. It was this like inclusive footwear brand that now I don't think exists anymore. But I bought this pair of like silver chromatic boots, and they were like platformed.
Love that.
And my mom knew about them, and she was like, "You just can't wear those to school. If you wear them to school, I will find out." And I was like, "Okay." And then I went to school and I changed into them and I wore them for a day, and she like somehow found out. I don't know if it was from
That's
a
crazy.
teacher or from like a rat, but like it's
Whoever
not like
it was a rat.
no, right? But it's not like I was like punished. Like Gail really like got on faster than a lot of parents, I would say. So like I'm very
Yeah.
grateful. I can't say much. I don't know.
In a way, I kind of feel I see similarities between our moms in a way, and
Totally.
I think ultimately their way of policing us when it came to expression was a way of protecting us, which is something I'm kind of realizing now.
Yeah. Yeah, especially like my mom probably can't even imagine what it would be like if a young, at the time, like boy wore that to her school.
Right.
So there's this like learning curve they have to get used to, and then we have to get used to as well. Like, how it comes from this place of protection, and
Yeah.
even with my transition, like, because we both like didn't tell our parents the first few months, and like I didn't tell
Which I don't know if I would necessarily advise, but also you have to do what you have to do.
I know. I say the same thing. Because I didn't tell my mom until like a year in. And she was just like, I just wanted you to wait until after college because I didn't want it to get in the way of your career.
Wow.
Which is funny because I totally feel like my transition has like given me not a career, but it like having the confidence really translates to like what people want in like a stylist or a stylist assistant. So like
Definitely.
I don't know.
Well, in a way, it's like to fully be who you want to be and like be transgender. It's like you come with a certain amount of confidence because it takes a
Yeah.
lot of courage and a lot of guts. And I think
I know.
as a stylist, people want that.
Yeah. Totally.
When it comes to fashion, because you're the fashion girly, what was that point where you were like, this is what I want to do? Whether it was in high school or even like, did it start earlier?
Like, it was just hard growing up and like knowing I needed to shop in the men's section. I always was just like, I hate all of this. Like, none
Yeah.
of this. I didn't understand like the beauties of menswear. It was only just like being jealous so that I couldn't wear women's clothing, like deep down.
Yeah.
So then it felt like this very silencing thing. Like my clothing, I would try my best to be creative, and I had like my inspirations, but I think in high school, I just remember I kept searching up like men's high-waisted pants or men's skirt. Like I would just like plug in these terms that just would not register to like Google at that point. I'm sure right now that would actually like probably work a bit more because of where like men's fashion has gone. But
Yeah.
I don't know, I just started thrifting. Like one of my closest friends to this day, E, was like someone I met in middle school who always just like encouraged me to wear what I want and do what I wanted. And then I met Abby and like
Yes.
Anthony Butera, and we would go like thrifting, and I just really began to like dip my toes into like trying things on. And then just like the world of visual inspiration really opened up for me, and I feel like Anthony would bring home to me these like really cool fashion magazines he would find around because he was really tapped in to stuff like that as well.
Yeah.
And I would just like put it up on my wall, and I began like getting my fingers on the pulse of like what was alternative at the time. And then I just felt like I knew I wanted to work in editorial, like magazine editorial and like image building. And I was just like lucky enough where that is where my career went.
Yeah, I mean, since then, you've worked for powerhouse fashion companies like Vogue. So, what was it like stepping into that world? Is it intimidating, or did you kind of adjust quickly?
I was definitely pinching myself. I still am, like every day, honestly.
I mean, you've done some amazing things.
It's been cool.
A lot of amazing things. It's true.
It's funny because college wasn't immediately like fashion editorial focused for me. The first year at Parsons, they have you doing courses that are like very cross-disciplinary.
Mm-hmm.
So I was getting more into like physically making things, which was really cool. I got into bookmaking, which has really, I don't know, stuck with me and something I like hope to continue to do, because editorial, like, image is half the battle, layout I feel like is the other half, and
Right.
the printing process. So
And in a way, you kind of like bridge the gap between like what you see on the page and then like what you're doing behind the scenes, but in your
Yeah.
own way by doing bookmaking.
yeah, and things just always look better printed out. Like,
Yeah.
I feel like when you have just an image you take and you pull it up on your computer, you're like, this is amazing, but like, now what do I do with this?
Right.
I want to like own this. I want to be in this. So like, how do I get there? So yeah, I don't know. Just by the end of college, like, I even tried making clothing at one point, which was nice to do, but I didn't really have like the courses to really inform that. So yeah, by my senior year, I just started. Oh, my last semester, I did an internship at Interview Magazine, and that, I feel like I named so many different things as like the moment that really shot my career forward, because there's so, like, it feels like there's so many, but that was just very inspiring to me, especially like Dara, who's like such a big name in the styling community right now.
Yeah.
I like really admired. And so to like go from admiring her work on Instagram or in print somewhere to seeing her in the office like a few days a week was like, what has my life become?
Yeah.
And the first day I was working as an intern there, Dara and Nicholson had me like running around, or all the interns running around grabbing stuff, being like, it's a special Addison project. And then by the end of the day, we were all like really hoping they would tell us we could come. And so they were like, okay, please be at the office tomorrow at like 6 a.m. or something. And it was her album cover shoot.
That's incredible.
So that was
And
a
it looks
long-
amazing.
I know. Well, it's funny too.
I love that album cover.
And there's so many great images too. And that was taken by Ethan James Green, who's also one of these like, it just feels like the new vanguard a bit in like this like fashion sphere we're seeing. So yeah, it was just like bizarre and incredibly inspiring to be working close to that at such a young age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What designers do you feel like you're really connecting to and resonating with these days?
Well,
As someone who's maybe not in the fashion world, and like, what is it about them that you love?
yeah. Well, I work at the Marc Jacobs bookstore, and I'm such a fan of his general career. Like, I wouldn't specifically say just what's going on right now, but more so his entire career, and what he's done at his own house. He was also like the creative director of Louis Vuitton when it started making clothing. Like, he was the basis.
I don't think I knew that. Okay, wow.
Yeah, he was the basis of that. He, like, the monogram stuff and the renditions of that you see today are most likely inspired by it, like a collection of his. Those like little Y2K like rainbow versions. You know what I'm
Cute.
talking about?
Not really.
It was like
I'm so out of touch with the fashion world.
I feel like they were such like a COVID like grailed item. Was these like it was like a collaboration with Takashi Murakami.
Okay.
So like his whole career is really inspiring to me. I think that designers right now, I mean, I have so many talented friends, which is so beautiful that I've been like pulling more and more.
Yeah.
I pulled a ton of pieces from this girl, Maria Gross, who I went to school with, but I didn't really know what she was up to until I just like asked her at a party recently. I was like, I'm doing this shoot and we need hats. And she was like, I make a lot of hats. And so we pulled these like incredible like feathered hats from her and these like feathered brooches and then some amazing shorts. And everything was just made from these like incredibly antique fabrics. So they all had these stories. I'm really big into that. And same with like our friend Ryan Godovin. And
Ryan's the best.
Ryan's
Shout
the
out
best.
Ryan.
Yeah. And she just makes these pieces completely out of these like tiny glass beads that are just like such a marvel to the eye, and there's so much more when you like look close at it. It's just a real piece of art.
Yeah.
Yeah, my friend Reina Quinones makes these incredible like colorful latex pieces and like headpieces and denim wear, and it's all very like graphic and tells a story. So I'm inspired by these youngins, like in my age. Yeah.
Well,
like
you know, the youngins are doing a lot of cool stuff and like definitely innovating.
Yeah, and also I just like my general like ethos with clothing is if we're gonna make it, it needs to be fucking perfect, because like we don't need new clothing.
Yeah.
But if it's gonna exist, it needs to be like a small batch, an incredibly like riveting piece, I guess. That's how I feel. So that's why like the smaller the designer I tend to really love. And then some that are getting their larger, I don't know, traction that still seem really committed to their ethics and stuff. Like August Barron is this really cool brand.
I feel like when it comes to sustainability and like not just making everything new, I thought it was interesting, just like bridging the gap from you working in fashion to even doing costumes on my film. Like for my film that you did costumes for, you thrifted most of the
Probably
clothes.
all of it except for Theo's outfit when she got the like
we needed multiples of the tank top.
Yeah.
So Lily did costumes for my short film called Molly's Pistol. You did an incredible job. And was that your first time doing costumes in film, or?
I think so.
Okay.
I think it was.
I wouldn't have known because you absolutely killed it. But what was that like, going from kind of more editorial work to doing something in the film landscape?
I mean, it's kind of another dream of mine and something I want to like slowly push into, because I'm so inspired by the styling of film and television, like Patricia Field, who did Sex and the City, and Ugly Betty, and Devil Wears Prada. Like she did all of that. She had such a chokehold on like these incredible pieces of media from that period of time. I just like really admire her and like how much thought and effort was put into every character she built. So I was excited, I was intimidated, and I'm a very like secure person in my work, but I'm also always like slightly scared of just being missed, like my point being missed in the work I do. And so I was just like crossing my fingers that it would all be well received. And I remember we had that fitting at your old, like your graduate school.
Yeah.
And I felt really like comforted by that experience because it seemed like everyone was really down to try things out and to work with like a bit of experimental fashion while still keeping it very like pedestrian and suburban.
It was technically a period piece. It was early 2000s.
No, right?
So that was kind of an interesting challenge as well. But luckily, because you did thrifting, you were able to find a lot of those pieces that kind of evoked the time.
Yeah, like we wanted to do early 2000s without the like hyper saturated lens that we got so used to.
Yeah, especially because of how I think maybe this generation has kind of like reinvented
Yeah,
an idea
as
of
they
what
do.
people wore
Yeah.
back then, which is totally like cool to innovate. But I think we were like, let's strip back the trend aspect of the
Yeah.
early 2000s.
Yeah. And kind of, I love media that exists in this kind of liminal period of time. It's not like we explicitly state, like, the date is October 5th, 2001. You know?
Right.
You're just supposed to, like, slightly understand that. And
Yeah.
we really, like, worked with what we had. And yeah, I mean, the thrifting, I can't imagine costuming without going to a thrift store because I hate when I watch something and the clothes look like they've never been worn before.
Yeah, and you can
That's-
always tell it's so apparent.
Yeah. That feels very like new. I don't know.
And what I loved about that experience, like with costumes, I feel very relaxed to it. And I loved that I was able just to like tell you my vision for each character and you really ran with it.
Yeah.
And I think you did such a good job of that. And
Yeah.
also, you like connected with the actors so well. Were there points where you kind of like, did you throw ideas back and forth? Because I kind of remember you having conversations with the actors about like costume stuff.
I mean, just like comfort is so important to me
Yeah.
because that is like what makes me feel good when I'm walking around. And if you're doing a job, if you're acting, you should feel like you don't look ridiculous. Or if you feel like you look ridiculous, we at least like know that and can like work around that.
Yeah.
You know? So yeah, I mean, especially like Theo, I had to like look out for my sister, make sure she felt like confident. Yeah, we had
She
her
did
in
incredible.
Yeah, we had her in
Thank
such
you.
cool stuff. Like we threw in some Rick Owens, which is like funny. I don't know because like honestly.
Yeah, actually, with her character, like, you made some really bold fashion choices that were really incredible and, like, things that I would have never thought. But, like, when
Yeah.
I saw them, I was like, this works so well.
Yeah.
I remember you used a kind of shawl
Yeah.
around her, which was a really cool choice.
It was like this mint green. That was the Rick Owens piece.
Yeah.
Little shawl that like wraps around. Yeah, I felt like she would have these like little details that as trans women we think about when we dress, or a lot of
Always.
us do. And so knowing like her transness was such a pivotal part of her character, I was like, there has to be slightly more intention than the rest of the characters. And she was so
Yeah.
down for that.
And that's why I loved having you on the project, because I feel like you handled it with such care.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, so you did an incredible job.
I mean, it's hard not to look back on it and feel like I was like a chicken running around with its head cut off, just because it was my first time.
Well, you know, also that's like a film set in general. Like that's what it feels like all the time.
Crafty.
Yeah. So, you know, we're all kind of running around with our heads cut off. But like we did the thing and I think we did a really good job.
And I'm excited for future stuff. If there's a Molly's Pistol 2, I'm excited to see what her...
that's in the talks.
Yeah.
And okay, so is there anything kind of up and coming that we can look forward to with you? Because you're always working on cool stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I'm working on my first like solo styling expedition on like in print, which I'm really excited about.
Yeah.
It's a story for Bias Cut magazine, which was founded by this girl who I went to college with. And they just were looking for proposals, and I was like, I think it's time, because I've been assisting, and while I love assisting, and that's also like where you can get money like in the early stages of your styling career, I just was starting to feel like if I don't exercise this muscle that I have, and if I don't do my own projects as well, like I'm gonna lose sight of myself a bit. And that is the like payment you get, you know, in these projects where you maybe aren't getting like paid with American dollars, you know.
Right, yeah.
But anyways, it's something I thought of. It's this like, I don't want to give too much away because I'm excited for it to come out, but it kind of deals with these juxtapositions of like trans womanhood and our relation to our bodies, and the bodies we're told are what we're supposed to be. I feel like, and like the rigidness of that. So it's the juxtaposition of that with like natural body and like sharp against hard or sharp against soft. Yeah, and I'm gonna be modeling it too. So like,
Ooh, my model.
I know I'm a little anxious because I feel like as stylists, especially assistants, there's kind of this like status quo of how much space you're supposed to take up in like the incubation period of your career. And I feel like I've done so many, like, or not so many, sorry, literally not so many. But this is like the second time I'm doing a sort of like interview situation.
Yeah.
The first time being my like uncut story that came out.
Which was really cool as well.
Yeah, that was cute. So like, yeah, I never know how like front facing to be, but I ultimately think like that is also how we inform people, and as trans women we kind of have to put ourselves on the face more than we'd maybe like to.
Yeah, and your perspective is so unique and like really important to tell. So I feel like if you can, you know, have an opportunity to share that, you should take it.
Yeah. So like this is an example of that, and then the story is an example of that. So I'm excited.
When can we anticipate being able to see that?
It sounds like October.
Okay, October.
I know, it's like far away, but it'll come in no time.
For sure.
Yeah, and I'm excited. I'm trying to get like my friends on, and then also some people who I really want to work with. Like I confirmed hair and makeup from these like fab girls I met on set for The Cut.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, T, I feel like they're doing all these paid jobs. Like I hope they'll want to do this.
Yeah.
But they were so down, and it just inspires me to do more stuff like this, and again to like fill my time more with these sorts of projects, because like I know I feel like very busy, but I still have time, and this is the time to do it, you know.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And I'm very excited to see it.
Yeah, for sure.
And I just want to thank you for being our first guest. You did an amazing job. I guess so,
Okay,
yeah.
cute.
But you did amazing. So thank you for watching SubQ's. I'm your host, Daniella Lane. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Follow us on our social medias and subscribe to our newsletter. We'll see you next time.